Did you know your Rivian can do way more than you think? There's a hidden menu most owners have no idea about, and it unlocks features Rivian doesn't even advertise. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to access it and what it can do. If you own a Rivian R1T or R1S, you probably think you know everything about your vehicle. You've customized the drive modes, played with the settings, and maybe even tweaked the gear tunnel lights. But what if I told you there's an entire section of your vehicle's software that's completely hidden? This secret menu gives you access to diagnostic tools, hidden settings, and features that can genuinely change how you use your Rivian. And the best part? You don't need any special tools to get into it. Modern electric vehicles are basically computers on wheels. And just like your smartphone, there are always hidden features buried in the system that manufacturers don't put front and center. Sometimes it's because they don't want to overwhelm users, sometimes the features are meant for service technicians, and sometimes they just don't want people messing around with certain settings. Rivian is no different. The company has built one of the most advanced vehicle control systems on the market. But with that complexity come layers of functionality most owners never see. You might have wondered why certain things seem adjustable but you can't find the setting, or why some features that should exist just aren't there. That's because they're hidden. The problem is Rivian doesn't exactly tell you how to find them. There's no official guide. You have to stumble upon it, hear about it from another owner, or do some serious digging online. Even then, the information is scattered. So let's fix that right now. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to access the Rivian secret menu, what you'll find inside, and which features are actually useful versus which ones you should probably leave alone. First, let's get into it. The process is surprisingly simple, but you need to know the exact sequence. With your Rivian powered on at the main screen, find the Rivian logo at the top center. You're going to tap it. Not a long press, just a regular tap. Nothing happens yet. And that's normal. Now here's the key. Tap that logo 10 times in quick succession. Not too slow or it won't register. Just tap, tap, tap 10 times. On the 10th tap, the screen will flash, and suddenly, you're in a menu you've never seen before. Welcome to the engineering menu. This is the official name for the secret menu, and it's where Rivian engineers and technicians access vehicle diagnostics and advanced settings. The first time you see it, it can be a bit overwhelming. There are dozens of options with technical names, but don't worry, I'm going to break down the most important sections for you. Let's start with Diagnostics, because this is probably the most powerful tool for understanding your vehicle. In here, you can see real-time data about almost every system. You can check the battery temperature for each individual module, see the current draw from the motors, and get tire pressure readings that are far more precise than what you see on the normal display. You can even see the exact state of charge percentage down to multiple decimal places, which is way more accurate than the rounded number you usually get. One of the most useful diagnostic features is the battery health display. This shows you the actual capacity of your battery pack compared to when it was new. Over time, all EV batteries degrade slightly, but with this menu you can see exactly how much capacity you've lost. Most Rivian owners who check this are pleasantly surprised to find their battery degradation is minimal, even after tens of thousands of miles. This is also incredibly useful if you're buying a used Rivian, because you can check the battery health before you buy. Now, let's talk about the camera settings, because this is where things get really interesting. In the normal interface, you have your cameras for parking and off-roading, but in the secret menu, you can enable additional camera views and adjust settings that aren't normally available. For example, there's an option to enable a continuous recording mode for your gear tunnel camera. This essentially turns it into a dash cam that's always recording while you drive. The footage isn't saved to external storage by default, but it's held in a buffer that you can access if something happens. You can also adjust the sensitivity for the security cameras. Normally, your Rivian's cameras activate when they detect motion while parked. In the engineering menu, you can fine-tune how sensitive this detection is. If you're getting too many false alerts from things like trees blowing in the wind, you can dial down the sensitivity, or, if you're in a sketchy area and want maximum security, You can crank it up so even the slightest movement triggers the cameras. Another hidden feature in the camera section is the ability to view all camera feeds at once in a multi-view layout. This isn't available during normal driving, but you can enable it in certain situations where you want maximum visibility. Off-road enthusiasts love this because it gives you a complete picture of your surroundings when navigating tight trails or rocky terrain. Let's move on to the lighting controls, because this is where you can really customize your Rivian's appearance. In the normal settings, you can adjust the brightness and color of your interior ambient lighting. But the secret menu gives you access to way more options. You can create custom lighting profiles that change based on different conditions. For example, you can set up a profile that automatically dims all interior lights to red when you're camping, which helps preserve your night vision. Or you can create a profile that pulses the lights in a specific pattern when you unlock the vehicle, just for fun. Beyond just the fun stuff, you can also control the external lights in ways that aren't possible through the standard menu. There are settings to test individual LEDs in your light bars and taillights, which is great for diagnosing if a light is out. There are also some interesting options for adjusting the behavior of the daytime running lights and even the stadium lighting feature. This lets you turn on all the exterior lights around the truck to illuminate a campsite or work site. In the secret menu, you can adjust the duration and brightness beyond the default settings. Now let's talk about the suspension settings. The standard menu lets you adjust ride height for different drive modes, but the engineering menu gives you access to the raw calibration settings. Here's a word of caution. This is one area where you should be very careful. You can manually adjust the height of each individual air spring, see the pressure in the system, and even force the vehicle into different ride heights that aren't normally selectable. While this can be useful for diagnostics or for very specific situations, like trying to level your vehicle perfectly on uneven ground for camping, messing with these settings without knowing what you're doing can lead to problems. My advice? Look, but don't touch, unless you're absolutely certain you know what you're doing. One more really useful section is the Software and Updates menu. Here, you can see a detailed history of all the software updates your vehicle has received, including the exact build numbers and installation times. More importantly, there's sometimes an option to force a re-download of the latest software update if you suspect something went wrong during the installation. If your infotainment system has been acting buggy after an update, this can be a lifesaver and might save you a trip to the service center. So, there you have it. A deep dive into the hidden world of Rivian's engineering menu. From advanced diagnostics and camera controls to customizable lighting and suspension tweaks, there's a ton of functionality waiting to be discovered. It is a powerful tool that can help you understand your vehicle better and unlock its full potential. Just remember to be careful with settings you don't understand, especially in the suspension and powertrain sections. I hope this guide helps you get more out of your Rivian. If you found this video helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more tips, tricks, and deep dives into the world of EVs, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.